Hey, it's Coach T. We're back. You'll notice that the document is more or less the exact same way that I left it when we left off in the last video. So we had worked on text wrapping. We had gone back through. We laid out our general layout of how we want this page to look. And this is actually a stage that I think is really, really important, that we take our time to arrange the document to make sure that the page layout itself, independent of the content that we're putting on the page, whether it's images or graphics, photographs, or text, making sure that you've taken some time to play with your master layouts to get an appealing skeleton, as it were, and then layering on actual page content. Now this, I will admit, this is ugly. This is just not great, but it's one that I made, and I guess I was originally making these for my mom, so hopefully this is something that's ugly enough that a mother can still love it. So I am going to stretch this a little bit just to demonstrate a point. I'm in my master page. I am changing the text, the page layout, and now you can see it's affected it here. So it cuts into both sides. I have it on left justification for simplicity, and what I want to do in this video, which is going to be very short, it's going to be less than 5 minutes, is I'm going to show you how to export your new document, because you might be already jumping ahead of me and you're ready to export and you're like, okay, cool, I hit save and I'm going to save this thing to a desktop, and then I'm going to go, all right, I'm saving this to my desktop and we're going to call it new book, and you notice it says Affinity files. Well, we don't want that. We want a PDF or something, and if you drop down, you get nothing. Well, that's not bueno. So we need to figure out how to export, and it's very, very simple, which is why I know this video is going to be very, very short. We're going to go File, Export, and then it'll eventually generate the preview, but you do not need to wait for the preview. This is exporting as a JPEG. It'll export every individual page as a JPEG. That's not great. Drop down, find the one that you want. You could export an SVG if you've done some sort of vector work. You could export a GIF if you wanted to do that. I don't know why you would. PDF is probably what you're looking for. It could be a web page though. It could be JPEG XL. But we're probably looking for a PDF. And in the PDF menu, you'll notice it's a transparent background because it's white. I did not apply anything to it. And I don't like how it's showing me just this one page. We want to go to all spreads and we do all pages. Spreads are your 2-page things, and that's not great because it means that individual image will be treated as wide as 2 pages. You want all of it. So all pages, rasterize, unsupported. Basically, you can leave this default. It's well set up unless your printer tells you otherwise. Typically, there are walkthroughs. If you did program, or not program, but put it together in RGB and you weren't supposed to, now's the time that you could change it if you needed to. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. You probably should design it the right way from the ground up, but you do you. And make sure that your printer is rasterizing at the correct level. So if I do this, I export to a document, and there's some games that I helped contribute to. We're just going to do new book. You'll notice now it's saving as a PDF file. Save. And I'm going to pause the video while I pull it up real quick. Okay, and so here is the actual image loaded into Google Chrome. And Google Chrome is, it's not a bad PDF viewer, although I do notice a problem with it that I wish I could solve, and it's this 2-page view. If I do this, it's going to put the first page in the document over on the left, and so it makes it hard to see that these are supposed to be adjoined or abutted at the middle. That's because a lot of times this is your cover image, and for many printers, especially print-on-demand printers, you upload your cover image separately. So what I can do is I can go back into Affinity real quick. There it is, and I can export it. Tell it to go all pages again, and we're going to do pages 2 through 5. And this will resolve that problem. So now it's going to export as a PDF, pages 2 through 5. We're not printing the first page, basically. And that only matters if you're trying to do two-page view for like a digital document or you're trying to view it on an iPad. This is something that's worth playing around to get to the point that you're comfortable with it. We're going to call it new book again. Yeah, we're going to replace new book. And then over here, we're going to refresh this file. And now if I go to two-page view, boom, there it is. I can see my two-page view. I can see my whole document the way it's really intended to be seen. So that is how you export in Affinity Publisher 2. I told you it was short, simple, sweet. It just requires playing around with a little bit. Just as a little bit of a warning, the larger the file size, the longer it will take to export. Sometimes I've had PDFs, longer PDFs of books like at 200 plus pages that are effectively catalogs. They may take like 5 to 10 minutes to export. You can speed that up by lowering the quality of the images as they're rasterized or turned into pixel images, but just beware that that may lower the actual quality of the book coming off a printer. Printers are not going to care about file sizes by and large. If it's a couple gigabytes because you have high quality images, that means they're going to look crisp coming off the printer. Digital services and people that are using it as a PDF, they are going to care. So as a general rule of thumb, if it's intended for digital viewing, you should keep the file sizes at 96, or the image sizes at about 96 dpi. That's standard for web viewing, I believe, and it makes the file sizes way smaller. So that's how you export into Affinity Publisher. We've now gone over how to lay out headers and footers, page numbers, inserting sorted text. We talked about some design principles, and now you know how to get it out of the program and into whatever ecosystem it is that you want to work in. When we come back with the next video, I think we're going to explore the picture frame tool, because that's another powerful layout tool that allows a lot of versatility. So look forward to that one. If you like this kind of head-first approach intended for adult learners that goes into one particular function or aspect or feature or whatever with software coding, consider giving me a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.